Well, welcome to a very random episode of the platform. When I used to host a radio show, I used to get all kinds of people on really randomly. I remember MySpace was invented at that time, and I'd get people on from all around the world, and they'd come on live radio and talk about their city and their town. And, I love Facebook, and I saw an awesome post from a girl called Labeaud, super positive, and I thought, man, it'd be great to just get her on. And I found out she was in Texas, and I sent her a message, and we jumped online and filmed this. Well, let's jump into it because it's so random. This came about, were we chatting, was this last night? We were chatting on Facebook?
I think so. Last night or the night before, something like that.
Wow, and you're in Texas?
Yes, I am in the DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Okay, and your name is Labeaud, and it's great to meet you. Thank you for being on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
This came about because I saw like a really cool post that you did about like self-starting and self-creating, not waiting around. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your story. Have you always been that positive?
No, definitely not. But how about I try to think of like warnings, and then I put it in I put a positive spin on it. And so with my story, it's like so deep and complex. But what I was talking about in that post was how I developed type 2 diabetes. Being from New Orleans, that background, a lot of kids aren't raised to eat healthy, etc. And so, I grew up eating unhealthily, and it caused me to develop type 2 diabetes quite early in life. And at the time, I couldn't afford a trainer or a nutritionist, but I was really passionate about helping myself. So I literally had to become a trainer and nutritionist, and then I went on to be a bodybuilder in order to help myself get out of that situation and help other people. And I was just explaining that that's just my take on life is I'm an autodidact. I learn whatever I need to learn to do whatever I need to do to get to wherever I need to go. I don't wait on people. I don't wait for approval, acceptance. Just whatever I see that I want to do, I just go for it. Because I feel that you can either live with something and accept it, or you can get rid of it. And I'd rather get rid of diabetes. At that time, I was thinking I'd rather get rid of diabetes than manage it.
This is where I came from. I was 187 pounds. To lose that, it took this, some of that, a whole lot of this, and some of that, a little of this, and a lot of that. Oh, it took a lot of this too. A lot. And plenty of this. But in the end, it was all worth it. I realized all of my dreams because of all the sacrifices I made over a year. And you can do the same thing. If you're interested in changing your whole life and turning it all around so that you too can see your wildest dreams come true, hit me up in my DM or in my inbox and find out how I can become your personal trainer and nutritionist.
I'm interested to know, like, when you make a decision like, hey, I'm going to like start bodybuilding, I'm going to improve myself, I'm going to do these things that seem impossible. I'm assuming that during that process, you reach times where it's not easy though, right? Were there times where you were almost going to give up, or was it too hard?
Not giving up. Feeling defeated, yes, but not wanting to give up. It's definitely hard. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. And still to this day, every person that has to go through that process, because it's months of preparation, it's the hardest thing because you have to control everything that you eat, and your entire lifestyle is centered around that training. And so it's just like any other sport, any other athlete, a serious athlete, like your whole life becomes that for those few months. And so I think the only time I felt defeated was when I walked the second time I competed, and I was getting close to the competition date, and I just felt like, why am I doing this? I know I'm not going to win anything. And the crazy thing is, I got like right outside. It was the top 5, and I was number 6. And so at that time, yeah, you feel defeated because you're going against the most elite, these people, they look unnatural and unreal. You're competing against that. Like you're gonna feel, it's gonna feel daunting, but um, you have to have a strong why. And my strong why is what drives me forward. I have to have that competition because it's what keeps me looking and feeling the way that I want to. Yes, it's hard. It's not everyone is built for it, but I know that if I'm not striving for that, I'm not happy with myself.
Then I looked at your page and I saw some clips there where you're acting with you, getting your friends together and making films and putting stuff together. Like, has that always been a passion too?
Absolutely not. So I've always been, I've always been passionate about writing. And so I've been doing that for years. And I did work behind the scenes and for a live studio for years. And I always wanted my chance to be in front of the camera, but it wasn't acting. I never thought that was even possible for me to do. It was like the impossible dream. But the type of person that I am is that I just try things just to see if I can. And so that's when I conquered the diabetes. I got into bodybuilding because it was the impossible thing. I can't do that. So I just tried it anyway, and I still went for it, and I did it. And so because I was looking better than I ever had in my life, I started to get more into modeling, and that started taking off to the point where I started to get offers. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll do a couple of commercials here and there. And once I kind of understood how easy it was to get into the acting industry, like my mind was blown. And being the person that I am, I instantly started networking. I instantly started trying to reach out to people and collaborate. And then it just exploded. And it didn't take long for me to kind of make the right connections. And that was just it from there.
Wow, so it's pretty cool. You've got that kind of self-discipline and go-getter attitude. Is there people around you that inspired that, or who are the people you look up to?
Um, Honestly, it all depends. I have mentors for everything that I'm trying to do. So there's people in film that I look up to, people with bodybuilding that I look up to. But when it comes to that type of attitude, I'm definitely that type of person who likes mentorship and likes to learn from other people. And so there was a period in my life where I just realized I've been doing everything that I think is right and is not working for me. There are people in this world who have lived longer than me. They know more than I know. Maybe I should just shut up and listen and see what there is to gain from other people's mistakes and lessons and things. And so for a few good years in my 20s, I just devoted myself to learning about life and in every aspect and success and being around people who are into things like that. And just doing that, that was like my college for life success, surrounding myself with those people. And when I was ready to branch out, it's like I had everything I needed to actually begin my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so those valuable lessons that I learned, those evergreen lessons that never die, that are true for everyone, these universal truths, are still what echo in my mind today as I pursue this or that. It keeps me moving forward.
Very cool. Well, tell us a little bit about Dallas, like Dallas Fort Worth. I mean, how big is the city? How many people live there?
I have no idea, but I've been living here for about 13 years. And let's put it this way, like, Fort Worth is more of a cow town type of place, more of a country type of place.
Oh,
It doesn't look like there's not plains and everything and all of that all around you. But no, there's a lot of places in Fort Worth that are dedicated to that touristy feel of if you want to come and to ride horses or pet cows or go visit a barn or whatever. There's definitely places like that. In Dallas, it's a complete difference. It's like totally modern, totally um, it's totally about just moving forward and being progressive, and just everything around Dallas is about that. And so that is where everything is. I mean, for everything I have to do, every job, every gig, every acting thing, every photo shoot is in Dallas. So I have to make that hour-long trip out there, but it's worth it, you know. It's
Nice.
it's like it's like Dallas is like the LA of Texas,
I see.
basically.
Okay. Well, the only thing I know about Dallas is like the Cowboys and the that old TV show Dallas.
Yeah, yeah.
Long time ago. What do you know about Australia?
Nothing. All I know
Whoa!
about Australia is that whenever I try a British accent, it always comes out Australian for some reason. Is there some type of similarity with it? Because I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, I think a lot of Aussies get like confused with that overseas. People will say, "Are you from England?" and vice versa.
Really?
Mm.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, very cool. So tell us more about the acting then. Like, what sort of stuff you've been up to?
So lately I've created a little web series that I'm releasing scenes piece by piece. It's called Bow, and it's about a killer. Okay. And so the reason why I came up with that is because I always get cast as killers. Always. I
Wow.
never get cast as a good guy. I cast myself one time in a pitch that I was doing as a hero, but apparently, I just have this look, and this is what I always get, and I play it well. So there's another pilot that I'm pitching. I'm also the villain in that, and so, but I created Bo because I have this character who goes and she does the wrong thing all the time. She does unthinkable things, but she's a funny character, so it's kind of like a dark comedy. So you almost forget that she's a murderer because she has you laughing the entire time
A
by her
likable
quirks and
murderer.
things. Yeah, a likable murderer. And the thing I've always felt as a writer about villains is that you can always tell how good a writer is if you look at how well rounded their villain is. If you can sympathize with the villain, and if you can listen to the villain and they're almost right, they almost sound right and justified in what they do, then that is a good writer. Because a real true villain is not the mustache twirling type of character we grew up with. It is a person who has a skewed view that has turned their negative experiences into something sinister. And for them personally, they're doing these things to reach whatever goal that they have, and it makes sense to them. And so, if we can humanize a villain, we can actually tell that story a little better. Kind of like the Maleficent movie where it shows Maleficent's side of the story. I like that because it shows that villains are human. The real villains are human. This is the reason why every time they investigate, they ask a neighbor of a serial killer, how was he? They say, oh, he was so nice. I would never expect. Yeah, because, he's a nice guy that happens to be a murderer. So anyway, that's how my character Bo is. She's a murderer, but she has these other qualities that seem normal. And I think that's intriguing for people.
Last time on Bo.
Who the hell is Jay?
He's nobody.
Nobody? What is this shit, Bo? No, I don't need to hear anything. Look at you.
Now you're having a damn asthma attack.
Where's my phone?
Hurry up! Hurry up! I don't know what to do.
Well, I love asking people from around the world, like, what would they do if they could live the ultimate dream? So I'd love to ask you that. Like, what's your ultimate dream if you can live it?
Honestly, my ultimate dream sounds just like everybody else's. I just want to travel more. I just want to be able to do what I'm doing now at a higher level because I know that I found my passion. Every gift that I have is being used with acting and screenwriting. So, if I can do that at a higher level and have more leisure time to be able to travel wherever I want to, that's that's honestly all I really want.
Awesome.
Because yeah, not a lot of people get to be able to do what I do, and by no means, honestly, some days it's really not fun at all. It's just work. But I do understand that it's still a pleasure, a luxury to be able to wake up and do what you feel like doing. And that's kind of, even on your most ungrateful days, you still have to be grateful. So that's where I am.
Well, very cool. And with your very gorgeous smile, what's it like life over there? Do you get hit on all the time by dudes when you go out?
I do sometimes, but I try to give off a vibe to like leave me alone.
You say to them, "Hey,
think,
I write serial killers. Stay away from me. I play the bad guy."
exactly. So I try to like shoo people away from me.
Very funny. Well, you know what's so random to like I said, I just saw that post. I was like, that's so cool, and it's great to speak with you across the other side of the world. So thank you for being on the show and all the best with stuff.
Thank you so much, and I've been looking you up too. You have a pretty amazing life, and best of luck to you. And I hope that you continue to reach all of your goals as well.
Oh, thank you.
No.
So there it is, super random, but great to meet her and have her on the show. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on the platform.